Justice League issue 19, written by Scott Snyder and Jorge Jimenez, with art by
Yeah.
Jorge Jimenez. So, yeah.
Let me just say, I love Mixie Pitlick. I I love him so much, and I love when they use him not as a villain but
I,
as a prankster.
what can I say?
So
I have mixy feelings on him. I'm just kidding. I
yeah,
just wanted to correct that joke.
gotcha. Um, but I do love how Snyder has set up that he's an imp, and the fifth dimension is a place of imagination, which kind of ties into what we were talking about with the
Yeah.
Thunderbolt and whatnot.
The
And
the idea that Mixie has attached himself to Superman as a protector and is challenging him to
yeah,
make him stronger.
And there's another one who's attached himself to Batman. And I laughed
Yeah.
and went, "Oh, Batmite."
Batmite, yeah.
Snyder has teased we're seeing Batmite in this arc.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Because it was an interview with, I think it was Newsarama, that they asked him, "Oh, have we seen any other imps?" And he went, "Maybe some mites."
Oh, what?
So, but I just love it that they've classified these, now that like they aren't all bad, and it kind of goes back to Morrison's version 2 from Action Comics, where
Yeah.
Mixie was kind of a protector,
Yeah.
and you play that into Reborn and how he felt jaded because Superman forgot him. He is that imaginary friend, and him showing up here, him showing up here and be like, it hasn't been 90 days yet. What am I doing here? Yeah,
That's a blast. I really like this issue.
yeah, me too. Jimenez's art it's always strong. I love his Superman, but the rest of the Justice League, like his Flash looks really good too. I really thought that was fun. And
Yeah.
then the city turning into creatures.
Your building just ate my building soon, man.
Yeah, with the globe getting teeth. So Mixie has his fun, and then John Jones or Martian Manhunter tells him like, I could just make you say your name backwards. It's running on a loop inside your brain, So let's play ball, and Mixie kind of calms down, but I do love his maniacal laughter before that. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Yeah.
And then stop him. Like it's really well balanced. And then we find out like he knows all about Perpetua in this whole sixth dimension, which I thought was one of the cooler revelations that we've had since Snyder's done Justice League.
Yeah, and he has been allegedly prepping Superman to be able to withstand this. Over the years, over the encounters, all the confrontations with him have led to him having a little bit of immunity, essentially.
Yeah.
He's kind of been vaccinated.
Yeah. So what the sixth dimension is he says that which starts off the issue that the first dimension is just a single dot. It's like a period, and then the second dimension's a line, and then the third dimension is like you're adding depth. Fourth is time, and then fifth is just imagination. So what's beyond imagination, and how can you perceive that?
I love this during this explanation where he gets to the 2-page spread of just, okay, so here's the multiverse. We just see the multiversity map, and right now imagination goes all the way around that, and then there's something above it.
Right, and it's like the control room.
Yeah,
and that's what the sixth dimension is, and only certain people, he says, can get there. Like there's the Brothers 3, which those are the not Celestials,
Monitor and
right?
World Forger,
right, and then Perpetua.
Yes.
And apparently not Superman. Although, we see that Bruce is like, well, should we really trust him? And he's like, yeah. Superman's like, I like,
yeah, he's harmless.
Mixie. Yeah, like, he's only doing this for our best, interest here. And I love that panel of Superman and Batman there.
Say it with me. I'm Batman.
I did like this issue. I thought this is one of the best issues they've done. It wasn't too wordy. The team interaction was fun. The art was mostly good. There was a couple of things here or there. The odd little face that felt a bit off to me. There was one of Barry specifically. When one of the first pages you get the whole team. Barry's face looked a bit weird on that page, I thought.
Go back and try and find it.
I think there was one of Diana at some point.
I loved, going back to the start. Zatanna's taught Diana some basic magic, so she's disguised them all as like firefighters by the look of it.
Yeah, workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Superman also stopping to help rescue a dog from a subway. Like there's Jimenez just doing wonders with that. But yeah, and then so they Superman being the only person that can go there, Mixie opens that door, and then they put him in, and then it's like 4 seconds later, there's another knock.
Yeah, there's the gang going. So, how long is this going to take? Weeks, days, months?
Decades maybe, and then there's a knock knock, and like aged, I don't say old, but aged Superman in white.
He looks like Jor-El with the hair.
He does.
The beard. He looks like Jor-El.
Yeah, and then the crown.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's quite the right word for it, for the headpiece that he's wearing there.
Right, and then so Batman has Manhunter look like, is this really him? Like, are we being messed with?
Looks like it to me.
Yes.
I like Hot Girl going out so well. The gray hair really works for him. You know, like I like that. And so he opens the door because he's figured it out and all this time there.
He explains he spent a decade in the sixth dimension, and he's like, I got it sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I was thinking at this point, yeah, but if you spent a decade in the sixth dimension, like you've actually like spent 10 years away from Lois and all that, is this like how's this going to work? And of course the twist is that he's not. Like this isn't really Superman. Superman's been sent to some dark place.
Mm-hmm. So, but what I like though is when they get there, you know, the Justice League steps into this, and they end up in front of the Hall of Justice with these future versions of themselves.
Yeah, so they're being referred to as the Justice League of tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's almost like the perfect versions of themselves. Because you got that Jor-El looking Superman. John has a White Lantern ring.
Yeah, you've got Jean and Kendra with a little kid.
Yeah, with a half hawk, half.
Yeah, Snyder says his name is Shane.
Okay.
No
more violence in the valley, huh?
No. The Flash thing is kind of apparently it's meant to be a merging of all three of them. It's Barry, Jay, and Wally.
Barry, Jay, and Wally, or Barry?
No, he said
Wally.
Jay.
Wow.
Yeah, no Bart for you, Matt.
Yeah. No Bart, huh?
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah. So Barry gets combined with Wally and Jay to be a sort of ultimate Flash.
Wow.
Batman's obviously young. It's someone else. We'll find that out.
It's giving me the Damian Batman vibes, you know, with the big high collar. You know, from
but then the red feels more Flashpointy.
Right. And then like, is that Element Woman as Wonder Woman? Like, it looks weird. Doesn't look like Diana.
I thought it was maybe meant to be Bada, but too small.
Maybe. So, and then we get a what's happening and a hello, and it looks like Superman fell right into this trap where there's no sun. He's gonna burn out his powers, and it looks like there's many Supermen that have gone here.
Yeah, and that's assuming that this isn't the sixth dimension somehow. This could be like, you know, and this is just how it appears to him.
It makes me think like where they went is the fifth dimension because it's imagination, right? Okay. And so to get to the sixth dimension, you have to go through the fifth dimension. So how do we know these aren't imps impersonating?
That's possible.
So
yeah,
but I really solid issue of this, and then we don't have to wait much long. We don't have to wait very long for to see who the future Superman is.
Yeah, so. It was an interesting twist at the end with a really solid issue throughout. You know, all the mixy stuff, some really interesting art bits, and some great character interactions as this series has had. You know, especially between Batman and Superman in this issue. Yeah,
it's definitely a roller coaster of since Snyder took over. Like, it's been real up, real down. You've done twists and turns, and I feel here we're right back on. This is the one I was looking forward to since we saw that art of the sixth dimension.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What are you rating it, Connor?
Well, I mean, Pete, you got anything left to say? You barely said anything.
That's Cats of Menace. That's what I've got to say. No, I enjoyed the issue. I enjoyed it more than some of the recent ones. It wasn't too wordy. I liked the banter between the characters, Superman and Batman especially. I think he's always felt this way in this series, but I think this issue more than any, it felt like Barry was made very jokey, like compared to everyone else. Like they intentionally made him the comic relief. Which
what's wrong with Fast?
Yeah. So like that stuck out to me a little bit, but they are supposed to be really good. The story's interesting. I like the mix of stuff. I like him messing with them, or at least he thinks he's messing with them. And we see the buildings and John's like arm just like bubbling away and like things like that.
Turn to the Christmas bauble lights.
Yeah. No, I like this show quite a bit. I'm enjoying it in terms of what it's doing. I kind of like that it's away. I mean, even though it's tying into the whole like source wall breaking, all that stuff that's going on, it feels kind of like compartmentalized. It feels different. It feels separate in its own little story on its own, even though it's kind of feeding into that. I like that. So I will give this a solid 8 out of 10. Did everyone else rate it?
No, I'm going up with a 9, but I've been into this book a bit more than you guys anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna split the difference in 8.5. I really had a good time. Jimenez's art too. I'll never get tired.
Yeah,
of that. Like,
solid.
It's up there with Manipul. Like, it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy.
Ooh, I wouldn't go quite that far.
No, it's up there.
I agree. It's better than Manipul.